Hey guys, it is Monday morning. Hope you can have a wonderful week. I've got a grocery haul for you. Welcome back to Cat on Point. Okay, but I wanted to touch base with you for a few things. Number one, weigh-in for last week. Honey and I didn't post it up. I was 0.8 up. He was 0.6 down. And so I was impressed with him, and I was like, what the heck with me? But because it was my birthday last week, but I had like a low carb cake, which most of that went into the freezer. I stayed on plan. I didn't overeat or do anything weird. So who knows, sometimes things go up and things go down. But that's okay. And then our youngest son had a birthday, and our eldest son had a birthday this last week. Our eldest is out of town, so we didn't get to celebrate that in person with him. But our youngest had, he wanted a chocolate cake, and he wanted a cake that I make in particular. It's a gluten-free cake, so good. It's made with avocado oil, and the frosting's made with coconut oil. It's just absolutely amazing. But it's gluten-free, but it's not sugar-free, and it's not low carb or keto. So it's like Honey and I split a slice on one day, and we split a slice on a second day as well. I gave as much of that cake away as I could, and then the kids finished the rest over a few days. And so it's not like we went to town over that. I will say my husband gave me some keto cookies for my birthday, and those were in the freezer, but we picked and picked and picked at them. They're finally gone, but they're inside of us. So I don't know, that was after the 0.8 up. So who knows what I'm going to be this next week, but I'm back on track. And the birthdays are gone, so no more birthdays for July, which is great. And we've been sticking close to our low carb and, our eating. Number two, I wanted to talk about the Celsius drinks that I've been buying when I go grocery shopping. I found Celsius when I was
giving up my other Diet Cokes last month during our challenges, right? And I was looking to replace it with something that was refreshing because it's over 100 degrees here. Well, I read the Celsius drinks, and they had them over in the aisle next to the flavored waters and things like that. And I was looking primarily at the carbs and the sugars, which were extremely low. It was like 1, right? So I thought, oh, this is going to work great. I read a lot of wonderful vitamins that were in there, and it looked really good.
I knew that it came with a little caffeine, but I read that it had green tea in it. So I didn't mind, because green tea gives me energy, but it doesn't give me like that ache for coffee that I've had in the past. I drink decaf coffee usually, and always actually. And so it didn't give me a headache when I didn't have it, and it didn't give me that yearning like, oh, I gotta have it. So I thought, okay, this is gonna be fine. Now, I would drink maybe 1 to 2 a day, right? And then now somebody asked me if it was an energy drink, and I was like, no, I don't think so. But since then, I have done a lot of looking into it. Yes, it is classified as an energy drink, and it is actually sold near the energy drinks as well as the flavored waters, which I hadn't really, I actually attributed it more to the flavored waters than the energy. Apparently I wasn't paying that close attention. And I wasn't paying even more attention because when I looked into the amount of caffeine it had 200 milligrams of caffeine from the green tea. And so that is quite a lot. And so I thought, well, that's funny because I've never had like a yearning for it, like, oh, I gotta have it. I enjoy it when I have it, but I don't have to have one. And if I don't have one, I never got like a headache for not having one, and that's what would happen to me if I didn't have coffee, like regular coffee. So I thought, well, this is odd. It just made me feel good. It didn't make me feel like jittery or anything like that. And so I read a lot of reviews and a lot of information about it, and people were just saying they'd have it before workout or something like that, and it's an energy drink, and you have to be careful. And I read enough that seemed like it was okay for some people, but not other people. And then there were concerns about it being an energy type drink, even though it's like, from what I read, one of the, if not the healthiest energy drink. It's kind of a revamped version. It's still kind of an energy drink, and there are concerns. So I thought, given the most recent enlightened information, I'm probably going to not buy them in the future, just because that amount of caffeine just seems like an awful lot to me. And honestly, there were a few problems that arose, even though I wasn't jittery and I didn't feel like I really needed it. Number one, I'm not supposed to have caffeine because of my interstitial cystitis, which actually was triggered off, and I couldn't pinpoint what did it. Now I know it was probably the caffeine in the drink. And another thing is that I take progesterone before bed as part of my hormone replacement therapy. And it usually puts me to sleep within 20 minutes. I'm just like, oh, I'm so out of it. And I noticed when I had this, for dinner, I'd have a little bit of a Celsius for dinner, usually like even a half. It seemed to me like my progesterone wasn't working. And it's like, oh, I must be getting acclimated to this. It doesn't make me tired anymore. What's going on? And it was actually the Celsius drink keeping me awake. So I wasn't jittery. I just wasn't sleepy. And so I said, okay, now I'm not drinking it before bed or anything anymore. I still have some in the garage that we need to go through. So if I have some, I'll have it maybe once every 2 days and maybe like a half, and that's about it. Because I'm just being careful with it now, and I probably will not purchase it again. So I wanted to let you know what was going on with the Celsius drinks. There was a lot that I didn't know about it when I presented it and said that I was drinking it. And so now, I'm not saying it's bad, but there's probably things that are much better for you. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about was that I am considering not weighing in for the next 4 weeks. So the reason why is because during last month's challenges, it really hit home how when we tell ourselves, that we have to do something in a certain way, and that we can't have something, or you know what I mean? It really changes your mindset, and it puts you into this, I don't know if it's a deprived state or what, but you start getting a little bit stressed about stuff. Some people can weigh in all the time, every day. It doesn't bother them. I never could do that. So it is a deal whenever I have to weigh. I used to not weigh, but what I would do is I would keep my weight down by gauging by like measurements. So if I could fit into certain clothes, then I knew I was okay. And if those started getting kind of snug and tight, I knew I needed to lighten things up a little bit. And that seemed to help me regulate really well without kind of like being anxious and pouring over, the ounces of up and ounces of down, or even a couple pounds up and a couple pounds, because your body fluctuates so much. And I want to say so much more now that I'm over 50. I could just be up so much in water, like by almost anything. I had a soda. I didn't have enough water. I walked too much. I stood too long on my feet. And I could be up like 5 pounds in water and swollen just because of those things. And rather than be controlled by those things, which I know are going to be variable all the time, maybe I should just concentrate on the measurements again for the next 4 weeks and see how that goes, so I can focus in on what I'm doing and not feel any anxiety about feeling like I'm being overregulated. And so I just want to see how that. So I thought, you know what? Let me go the next 4 weeks without weighing, and then at the end of the 4 weeks, I'll weigh in and see if I'm better off, worse off, same. right? And see if that helps at all with the mindset. And I'm not all like traumatized about it or anything like that, but I thought it would be a little bit more simple if I did this. But I have to do this, so I'm all about, if I feel like I need to do something, I'm not afraid to bust out of that, you know, little circle and go, you know what, let me find something out, and I'll come back and report. So anyway, okay, so I've got a grocery haul after this. If you have any questions, type them in the comments below and I would be happy to answer them. All right, guys, love you a lot and I hope you have a wonderful week. I'll see you later. Hi guys, time for grocery haul. It's kind of small this week. I did not go to Sam's Club or Albertsons. I tried to stick with Winco. So I'm cutting my costs this week. Plus I got a lot in the fridge still. So I wanted to show you these right off. Okay, you know the Olay Wraps? Oh, first of all, I had to get 2 of these. These are really good actually. I love these. The La Banderita Carb Counter Keto Street Tacos. I do have like 2 of these. They're only 20 calories each. And it's 0 net carbs, which I'm not quite sure how they figure that out, because if I have 2, is it still 0 net carbs? It's kind of weird, but anyway, they are so good, and so I thought I'd pick those up. But okay, I normally get like the regular Olay wraps, but these ones are the large wraps, and they're extra large, so then normally the Extreme Wellness wraps are, I think it's like 4 net carbs, right, per each one. These ones are 7 net carbs for each one, but I want to say they're probably almost twice as big, twice as large. And the reason why I got them was because I thought, first I walked away. I thought 7 carbs, oh my goodness, you don't know what I'm doing. And then I thought, no, wait a minute, because I can cram extra vegetables if I have a bigger wrap. So I liked that idea, and if I'm cutting the carbs anyway and I'm still staying in my daily intake, I try to stay under 50, but I mean, I could go lower. This still works. It still will work. So I thought, you know what, just go ahead and grab them. Let's see how that works. I got a ham. This was $16 for this ham. And what I do is I just cut it all up. I cut a lot of the abundant fat off, but I cut it up for breakfast, for sandwiches, you name it, for stews and things, and then I get to the part where there's only little cubes left and stuff, and all of this gets frozen and separated, and it gets used in every fashion. The dogs end up eating the fat, because there's like overt fat here, and I don't really like it. Or if it's too fatty for them, I just toss it. But so it really goes a long way here. I did get a small heavy cream and a large heavy cream because I do use some of that in my low-carb cooking or keto cooking. I found this. I've never tried this one before, the Bigelow Cinnamon Stick. This is black tea, so I assume that it does have some caffeine in it, since it's not, it doesn't say decaffeinated, but it looked really good. I love cinnamon tea, and I can't wait to try this one and see what this is like. I got a ton of green beans again because you know me, I'm the green bean queen. Eggs, supplemental to help our girls because they're laying kind of in hot weather right now. Cilantro, I like that and stuff, but I more or less got that for our tortoise. I got this for Honey mostly, and me too, but I just will steam this whole big mix of vegetables for the week and then just section it up so that you get like 2 servings in each thing, and then you can grab them for the week. Low-fat cottage cheese, yeah, I'm down to using this big econo size of the generic low-fat cheese, because if I was just going to eat it, I would go with the good brand, but if I'm just putting it in smoothies, it's not necessary, and I've found that that works very well for that. Butter lettuce, I love this, but my tortoise does too, so I mostly got it for him. This is mostly for me and Honey, the chopped romaine, just a ready bag, because sometimes I get lazy. Squash, the yellow one was the cheapest this week. All they had was the organic, which cost twice as much, so I got this. Oh, the kids use this, Bromelain Brown. It's a yogurt spread. And you know me, we eat a lot of tuna around here, so I had to stock up on a little more wild-caught tuna in water. The apples are for the kids, but sometimes when I'll make a low-carb coleslaw, I will actually put a few slivers of apples in there because the kids like it that way, and it's not too damaging on the carbs. Okay, this week I am buying ice. I'm not buying sodas. I'm not buying Celsius. We have to talk about that. And I went back to just buying the ice. Got some wonderful strawberries. Honey's hot sauce. He loves this kind. More ice back there. Okay, so that's the haul this